don't miss them. You miss the version of yourself that kept hoping they would finally choose you. That's why it feels so confusing. You know they made you anxious. You know you felt restless, insecure, emotionally exhausted. You remember checking your phone too often, replaying their tone, overthinking short replies, feeling relieved by the smallest sign of affection, then crushed by distance again. So why do you still miss them? Because your body often confuses emotional intensity with emotional importance. Calm love feels quiet, predictable, safe, but anxious love feels alive. It spikes your attention. It keeps your nervous system alert. It makes every message feel meaningful, every silence feel dangerous, every small return feel euphoric, and the mind remembers intensity. Not because it was healthy, because it was stimulating. When someone made you anxious, they didn't just enter your heart, they entered your system, your mornings, your sleep, your focus, your sense of worth. They became part of your internal weather. That's why even after they're gone, the emotional climate remains. You sit in a warm room, but still feel cold. You hear your phone vibrate and your chest reacts before your mind does. You walk through peaceful streets, but something in you still waits for uncertainty. Sometimes you don't miss the person, you miss the pattern, the waiting, the wondering, the chase, the hope that next time it will be different. Because hope can become addictive when it arrives in small doses. A kind message after distance, warmth after withdrawal, attention after silence. Your brain learns to crave relief more than connection, and relief feels powerful. That's why people who made you anxious can become harder to release than people who simply loved you well. One gave you peace, the other gave you emotional highs and lows your body never forgot. One felt stable, the other felt unforgettable. But unforgettable does not always mean meaningful. Sometimes it only means unresolved. There is another layer most people never talk about. When someone triggers your deepest fears, being abandoned, overlooked, not enough, they often touch wounds that existed long before them. They did not create the wound, they activated it. So when they leave, it can feel like they took something essential with them. But often, what hurts most is not losing them. It is meeting your own wound again. The child in you who feared being left. The version of you who learned love had to be earned. The part of you that still believes uncertainty means value. That is why your grief can feel bigger than the relationship itself. You are not only grieving a person, you are grieving the fantasy that if they had finally loved you consistently, something old inside you would have healed. You wanted their love to rewrite an older story, to prove you were enough, to prove you were chosen, to prove that this time love would stay. And when it doesn't, the pain feels ancient. This is why you can miss someone who was not good for you. Missing is not always evidence of compatibility. Sometimes it is evidence of conditioning. Sometimes it is your nervous system asking for familiar chaos. Sometimes it is your wound asking for one more chance. Sometimes it is your heart confusing closure with reunion. You may even find yourself romanticizing the good moments, the late night talks, the rare tenderness, the moments they almost became what you needed. But almost can hold people hostage for years because almost keeps the story open. And open stories are hard to bury. Yet healing begins when you understand this. You are not weak for missing them. You are not foolish for thinking about them. You are not broken because part of you still longs. You are human. You became attached to a cycle that felt emotionally significant. You bonded with hope inside uncertainty. You tried to make meaning out of inconsistency. Of course it lingers, but lingering is not the same as belonging. Missing them does not mean you should return. Thinking of them does not mean they were right for you. Feeling pain does not mean you lost your only chance at love. Sometimes the deepest act of self-respect is letting your body grieve what your mind now understands. Let yourself miss them and still move forward. Let yourself feel the ache and still choose peace. Let yourself remember what it felt like and still refuse to live there again. One day, the silence that once hurt you will feel gentle. The calm that once felt boring will feel safe. And the love that doesn't make you anxious will finally feel real.